What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video. And finally we have some good news from Liverpool after yesterday's devastating defeat to our biggest rivals Manchester United. How do you feel after the game? Because I'm still absolutely gutted and devastated and really furious at the manner in which Liverpool gave Manchester United the ball twice in extra time to score 2 goals, to turn the game around. But the good news is that FSG, the Liverpool owners, are working on a move to bring in a new technical director to Liverpool. Benfica's own technical director, Pedro Marquez, is the latest in the building block of Liverpool's new structure after Jurgen Klopp, after, of course, the arrival of Michael Edwards. Michael Edwards has been confirmed as the CEO of football at FSG, and he was in attendance at Old Trafford to watch the Man United Liverpool game. So I'm wondering how he will see the current Liverpool players and if any of them will be sold. I don't agree with the over-the-top criticism of Cody Gakpo. Yes, he's in bad form. Yes, he was not a great substitution in the Man United Liverpool game. He slowed a lot of our build-up down, a lot of our attacks down. But I don't think after a bad month of football that we should instantly sell Cody Gakpo. We should give him probably another season to prove his worth. But it will be very interesting how Michael Edwards will see the squad building in the summer. Of course, alongside the new manager, hopefully that will be Xabi Alonso. And a key part of the new technical director Pedro Marquez at Liverpool, a key part of his job will be to help acquire and oversee a second club. A key part of Michael Edwards will be to oversee a second club, buying a second club, and not just to become a feeder club of Liverpool FC, but a second club on its own that is successful. That's what FSG want. They want to buy another football club, which I think is very significant, and it could help Liverpool, of course. And it looks like we are looking at the Portuguese market. Benfica has been very, very successful at identifying young talent from South America, bringing them over to the Portuguese league, developing them, growing them, and then selling them on for massive profit. The latest and biggest example is, of course, Darwin Núñez, but they sold, I think, the World Cup winner, Enzo Fernandez, used to play for Benfica, and they sold him to Chelsea for more than £100 million. And FSG is also targeting Pedro Marquez, the current technical director of Benfica, to provide his skills and expertise on such a big project at Liverpool. The highly rated and highly regarded Portuguese would be employed by FSG rather than Liverpool. Marquez's vast experience in this area will be utilized to assist FSG in its search and then subsequent management of another team, which will mainly be used to attract global talent. So probably FSG's second team, which would be, of course, a much smaller team in terms of European giants than Liverpool, and they will be able to attract new talent, young talent, and they will be able to play them, develop them, and grow them. And if some of them become world-class players or become very, very good, very, very high potential players, then they could be signed by Liverpool. So basically, they will be scouting the South American market for young talent to be developed under the umbrella of FSG and their football clubs. And Pedro Marquez is known to Liverpool from their talks to sign Darwin Núñez from Benfica in 2022, and he has ties to former Liverpool sporting director Julian Ward as well. David Ornstein is reporting, of course, that FSG are working on a move for Benfica technical director Pedro Marquez as part of a new setup. He would be employed by FSG rather than Liverpool, and he will focus on the second club's operation, but that will be closely tied to Liverpool Football Club as well, because if any big players are developing nicely, then FSG will sell those players to Liverpool first, and if the player doesn't fit in at Liverpool, then we could sell him or FSG could sell that player to another club. And Pedro Marquez used to work for Manchester City as well, and he's very highly regarded. David Ornstein is a very reliable journalist, so the fact that he's reporting this is very, very exciting and very encouraging news. And a Benfica fan who is following Liverpool as well, he says that it's a very interesting investment by Liverpool, and for Pedro Marquez it's a very interesting project as well. As a Benfica supporter, he says, I saw him as one of the most important people within Benfica. He was the technical director of the youth department. He helped organize Benfica's youth teams and decide which players should be in which teams, and guided coaches and helped them fix the team. Benfica was already the strongest academy in Portugal, but Pedro Marquez, helped the Benfica academy to become even better. I never really saw Liverpool as a youth club. Perhaps that's about to change. That was the main role he had in Benfica last 6 years. He already left at the beginning of the year, so it seems that he's moving to Liverpool. He will be really working within FSG and not necessarily within Liverpool, so he will work for the owners of Liverpool and not Liverpool directly. And yes, he will probably be working to develop talent for our second club, FSG's second club, but the end destination, the end goal will always be Liverpool, because FSG are working to make Liverpool as successful as possible and acquiring a second club, and that club could be a club where we are developing young talent for Liverpool is always a very interesting possibility. And let's look at Pedro Marquez's career. He started his professional journey as a youth coach at Sporting Club de Portugal, so another Portuguese club, in 2004. Over the years he progressed within the football industry and eventually became a first team performance analyst at Manchester City in 2010. This period coincided with former Liverpool sporting director Julian Ward's tenure as a scout for Manchester City. In 2014, Marquez transitioned into a coaching and analysis leadership position within the City Football Group. So he was already part of a multi-club model, and he saw how that works from within. Rather than slowly focusing on Manchester City, he played a pivotal role in overseeing operations across multiple clubs within the group. These included New York City FC, Melbourne City FC, Yokohama Marinos, and all of which City Football Club either held shares in or acquired ownership of in 2014. When he departed the City Football Group in 2018, they had already established stakes in 6 clubs spanning the whole world, and then he became the youth technical director at Benfica. In 2022, he was instrumental in the negotiations that culminated in the transfer of Darwin Núñez to Liverpool for just £64 million, and I think that has been a very, very successful transfer. And now that I slept on the Man United Liverpool game, I'm still absolutely fuming at the manner in which Liverpool conceded 2 goals in extra time. But when I looked at the schedule, had we got through to the semi-finals of the FA Cup, which I think Liverpool would have played Coventry City, Man United got very lucky, both with how Liverpool were probably 10% off the pace in the second half, where if we have 10% more energy, I think Liverpool would have went for the kill, went for the throat of Man United. But the Liverpool players probably tried to conserve energy by passing the ball around, keeping possession, taking the sting out of the game, and they thought we can see the game out at 2-1. But Man United got one last chance in the 87th minute, they equalized from it, and in extra time, even though Liverpool went 3-2 up with a great Harvey Elliott goal, Man United just overwhelmed Liverpool in the second half of extra time, basically forcing Liverpool mistakes. The Darwin Núñez pass was very lazy, but it was revealed that Darwin Núñez was playing with an injury, Luis Diaz was playing with an injury, Cody Gakpo was playing with an injury. I'm a little bit more forgiving of the Liverpool players' mistakes now that I learned that 3 players got injured during the game. And Liverpool didn't have that extra 10% in the legs to see out the game. We have played a lot of games with the depleted squad, and probably the tiredness was a factor in the decision making. Darwin Núñez, if he's not that tired, if he's not that injured, he probably makes a better pass. Harvey Elliott, if he's not that tired, he probably makes the better decision in the last minute when he lost the ball. And also, probably we could have scored more of our chances in the second half if we had more fresh minds and more fresh bodies. But Liverpool would have had to play the last stretch of the season. We would have played every 3 days a game, and I don't think Liverpool's squad is with this many injuries, with 8 injured players, I don't think Liverpool's squad can withstand that amount of games. And it's better to go out of the FA Cup if that means that we are fresher for the Premier League games, we are fresher for the Europa League games. I want to win the Europa League because it's a trophy that Liverpool have never won under Jurgen Klopp, and I want to win the Premier League because it would be the greatest glory, the greatest triumph in Jurgen Klopp's last season. It really would be an absolutely special Premier League title to win in Jurgen Klopp's last season. But hopefully Liverpool will be fresher for this. But now that I see that Man United got Coventry in the semi-finals, Liverpool would beat Coventry at Wembley. I'm pretty convinced. But then the FA Cup final would come in a final stretch where we have to play the last Premier League game 3 days after that. Probably Europa League final 3 days after that, FA Cup final, something crazy. So that's how crazy the schedule is. Not having to play the FA Cup semi-final and the final at least frees up a week during this run-in where Liverpool would have time to actually rest and recover some energy. And I think the competition that I was the least worried about is the FA Cup, because Liverpool don't have historically a great record in the FA Cup, and we have already won it once, and we wanted to do a more special season than even 2 seasons ago. In 2022 we won the League Cup, we won the FA Cup, but we lost the Champions League final and we lost the Premier League title in the last 15 minutes of the season, where Aston Villa failed to hold on to a 2-0 lead away at the Etihad, and they collapsed and lost 3-2, and Man City won the title by 1 point. I don't want that to happen again. I want Liverpool to win the Premier League title, obviously. And if that means going out of the FA Cup and that helps us win the Premier League title, I always said if you chase the cup competitions, it's almost impossible for any team to win the Premier League apart from Man City. Man City are the only side who have a big enough squad to chase all competitions and to win the quadruple one day. The Man City is the only team who is capable of that. And Jurgen Klopp confirmed that Diaz, Gakpo and Núñez suffered injuries during this dramatic FA Cup quarter-final against Man United, and hopefully that means that these 3 players will pull out of international duty, because I don't want them to go out for internationals. And by the way, at this stage of the season, to host an international break when you are playing meaningless friendlies is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Like, why don't you just let the players have a week rest or 2-week break, and then you can have international friendlies, like have a week's break, and then you can finish the season 1 week early and then host some friendlies before the international tournament of the European Championship. Surely it's better to play friendlies before the Euros begins, so they can play more friendlies, the international teams can gel a little bit more, not just thrown into the tournament straight away. But that's the international schedule, we can't really do much about it. And there is one other silver lining in this defeat to Man United. The last time Liverpool lost 4-3 in the FA Cup, they became league champions in 1990. We lost to Crystal Palace 4-3 in the FA Cup, and then that year we became champions. So hopefully history will repeat itself. And I didn't like how Liverpool fans were insulting Cody Gakpo. I read his Instagram comments, and a lot of Liverpool fans were saying to him, get out of the club, you are not good enough, you are a donkey, you are a bottler. You should support the players, even the bad ones, in these times, because that's what fans are. That's what supporters are. Supporters, it's in the name even. You should support the players no matter what. Because some players are going through things in their private life. Who knows, Cody Gakpo is just in a bad run of form. He's not a bad player. He didn't turn into a bad player overnight. He just doesn't look great on the pitch at the moment. But you can't win every game of football in a season. It's literally impossible. Not even the greatest teams like Man City do it. There is absolutely no shame in going to Old Trafford, outplaying them with 8 injuries for large periods of the second half, not taking our chances, and then ultimately gifting them the victory, losing to a team who is only Man United's only chance of a trophy is the FA Cup. So they put in this was their game of the season. They put in one hell of a performance against us. It was a great game of football for the neutral, I'm sure. Both teams played exceptionally exciting attacking football. Liverpool lost, we need to move on. And the players gave everything. Yes, it wasn't perfect. Yes, we made mistakes because of tiredness, because of tired minds, tired bodies. But Liverpool are still in the title race. We are still in the Europa League. We are in fact favorites for the Europa League. We are second favorites for the Premier League title. And Liverpool have one hell of a chance. And with 3 or 4 injured players coming back fit, I think we have as good a chance as anybody in the Premier League title race. We have a better chance than Arsenal in my opinion, and we have as good a chance as Man City. So let's still be optimistic and let's hope that this season Liverpool can still win the title. I will be the most disappointed if Liverpool don't win the Premier League, because that's the trophy that I want the most. And I think Liverpool dropped so many points because of refereeing errors, because of bad finishing. I mean, if we had Jota fit for the whole season, we would have 4, 5, 6, 7 more points in the Premier League. Plus, we would have definitely won against Man United because Jota finishes 2 or 3 chances in the second half if he's on the pitch. But that's how I see it. Let me know how do you see it in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.